Time now to catch up with Dean Orford, who is the women's tennis coach at the University of Tulsa. And Coach, your season got truncated because of the COVID-19 crisis, but you went 9-4 in the early going. Characterize what happened in those 13 matches.
So yeah, I thought we were hitting our stride quite nicely. I liked our team a lot. We had national indoors. We had a nice win against Mississippi State there, and we were building on that. But yeah, I think we were on our way to a good year. It's one of those things we'll never know. But at least it put down a good foundation going forward. We got a lot of experience. So I'm very optimistic about the future going forward when we hit campus again shortly.
And certainly that was a disappointment to have this season cut short, but everybody went through that. What are the things that you had to tell the young ladies as you kind of said goodbye to them here at the end of the spring season?
Yeah, so it's a very unusual situation for everyone across the world, as you know. As they all went to their respective homes and countries and did remote studying, all the challenges that come with that. All of their situations are so different. Some are more free than others, where they can do more, but they have to be very creative and kind of squeeze everything out of their circumstances. But academically, sorry, go ahead, Bruce.
No, I was going to say, I was going right there. With the international students, I'm sure academically it was a difficult thing to kind of get through the semester. How did the young ladies do?
Yeah, so they finished up finals on Friday, but I think the TU campus did a really great job of transitioning early and fast. So we didn't have any hiccups academically. And with the added time that they had, we're expecting great grades. We had the highest GPA on campus last year. So we are hoping to retain that title. But yeah, the ladies did great, and they adjusted very quickly. And then athletically, in the different environments, it's time to get greedy and see what you can squeeze out of your situations, whether it's strength and conditioning. Some of them are able to be playing right now as far as training outdoors and so forth. And in certain countries and certain areas, they can. Some are more restricted, but everyone's kind of squeezing everything out of it.
And Coach, back to the tennis here at TU this past year with that 9-4 record. Martina Akalova obviously was, your number one singles player, and 9-3 at the number one position. That's not easy to do. So she had a really good start to the season, didn't she?
Yeah, no, she was playing when the season was halted. She was doing great. She's such a competitor. She's such a leader. We have. Nothing but great things to say about Martina. She's just and on top of that, she's a great human being, great student. So, we're very fortunate to have her.
And then on the doubles side, Martina teaming up with Vera Ploner, and that's a really tremendous combination for you, the All-Americans. And again, it's one of those things where you get to the what if, Coach. What if the season had continued? What kind of a deep run would those two make as they got to the quarterfinals last year in the NCAAs? And I'm sure that is a what if, isn't it?
Yeah, so with Vera and both of them hitting their strides, they would have been one of the teams that we would look to, if they got the final eight last year, who knows what could have happened this year. In our mind, we think they're one of the best in the country. And they were, extremely good, very difficult to play against. Vera being a lefty, they blend so well. They've got the world of experience coming in. So, who knows if they could have won the whole thing.
And those guys obviously helped your doubles tandems, if you will, or your three doubles teams, winning 23 out of 34 of your doubles matches. Winning that doubles point is so important in any 7-point system, isn't it?
Yeah, we were a very well-rounded team, and everyone contributes. All 8 players had a role to play, and each was doing that really well. But yes, the doubles is key for us, and we take pride in our doubles point. We traditionally do pretty well there.
Yeah, your juniors sure did very well in your number 2, primarily as a number 2 for you singles-wise. And one of your young players really came forward, Leah Conde-Montfort, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. But correct. One of your freshmen really did a very nice job for you in the middle part of your order. Tell us about her.
Yeah, Leah is one of those stealthy players that she's sneaky good. She's got so many weapons. She's very offensive-minded when she plays, and very unpredictable to play against. So she's just one of those and this is her freshman year, and she came out really hot. So she has a bright future with us. Her and Leanne as well. We're really optimistic about their future. But she had a great start, no doubt.
And you mentioned Leanne. So what are some of the other players that you saw making progress this year and here in the spring before the season got cut short?
Yeah, and you mentioned Shura. Shura stepped up. She's moving up that lineup and so physically strong and moves so well. And I feel like she matured a lot this last year. And so she's got one of those games that who knows where it can take her. I'd love for her to see her play beyond college, and she does have that type of potential.
Well, certainly there's a lot of potential in your team. There's no doubt about it. Let's get back to the international players and how you're able to keep in contact with them at this point. Looks like they've gotten through things academically here in the spring, but how do you stay in touch with them? I assume same way with Zoom conference calls and that sort of thing?
Exactly right. We do some Zoom meetings online, which is kind of fun. And for the ones that are far, different hemispheres and what have you, the time constraints can be a little bit odd. But yeah, it's always fun to kind of keep the team together as much as we can, keep those relationships going, and then of course we stay in touch. The traditional via academics, emails, and so forth. So, but yeah, it's been a challenge to try and keep everyone, the team together. But it has been a unique experience, and I think we'll all learn from it.
And Coach, you touched on this earlier, but tennis is one of those sports where there is already some social distancing going on. The only thing, obviously, that the players all touch is the tennis ball. So, is this a sport where, as you mentioned, you can get some work done right now in this very strange time, and maybe it's one of the sports that you can kind of get rolling a little bit earlier?
Yes, tennis, as you said, the social distancing is very natural here. The courts are 120 feet by 60 feet. So there's a net dividing opponents. So it's it lends itself to getting back early. All the local tennis clubs and public tennis courts are open. They're open on the 1st of this month. As far as the tennis balls goes, our governing body has come up with guidelines on how to deal with that. You can play with 2 cans, and then they have different numbers. And then, one player would pick up the odd numbers, and the other player would only touch the even numbers. And when they're serving, that's the only thing that you have to worry about. So you can almost have zero contact with their shared contact. It's one of the safest sports with no contact, physical contact. So there's no reason for us not to get going.
Well, we're looking forward to seeing your team again, obviously, coming up in the fall, and we appreciate you taking the time, Dean, and we'll see your team real soon, we hope.
Yeah, no, we're excited and ready to go. Thank you, Bruce.